Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 12 of my modded Factorio playthrough. On this episode, we're going to start manufacturing electronics and steel. Enjoy. Lots of good stuff. There's insulated wire, which requires rubber, which requires resin, which requires a lot of research and a lot of trees, so it's not really relevant right now. Basic electronic components, which it's also not really relevant right now, because that requires tin and carbon and lots of technologies we haven't started on yet. Which means we can't make the basic electronic boards or the filter inserters. But we're in it for the basic circuit boards, which just require copper, wood, and stone, which we can do right now. And yeah, technically it's siphoning off half of the copper to just get destroyed rather than come over here. But this is kind of a low priority thing. It only needs copper just for this cable, so I don't think there's gonna be any throughput issues. I mean, I suppose we could have put all of these machines over here, but we can put the electronics assembly machines over there, though. So how are we doing for output? Okay, it's going slow because... Oh, I see. We ran out of space for bricks. Yeah. Let's move this around. Well, didn't do this very well. Got that cleared up for now. Eventually that will catch up. And I can guess we can do some of this infinite research. Crafting speed is always immediately useful. It's going to take quite some time. Although, crafting electronics will be a little easier with the electronics assembling machine. So let's get that done real quick. Okay, electronics assembling machines are basically smaller version of regular machines that are twice as fast. Twice as fast with half the pollution and the same amount of electricity consumption. But they're also smaller, for better or for worse. It means they many times can be assembler limited because there's just less room for them, at least in the beginning. However, they do work on things like science packs and whatnot, so I don't think it's necessary to like rebuild all of the things that can be done with this right now. So you can make science components, copper wires, insulated wires, and then all of the circuit board stuff. But I'm not so concerned with efficiency that anything that can possibly be done by this machine should be replaced at the moment. I think it's fine as is. Okay, so we need to make insulating boards. Actually, stone tablets. Yeah. Let's move this down a bit. We need to make stone tablets there. Which has to be done in standard machine. And stone tablets are made out of bricks. And we can make insulating boards out of wood and stone tablets. And then circuit boards with copper wire and insulating board. And then this can be the copper wire. And then we can have an output like right there. Not sure about the number of inserters for any of this stuff, so question mark. So this requires some wood, which we can supply from right here. Should it be spaced? Nah, I don't think it needs to be. And then for this, we can just manually put a big old slab of bricks in there. Because they stack in units of 1,000, it's not too big a deal to just manually put a stack in there and then forget about it. It doesn't really go through them that quickly. So you can see how there can be problems with inserters and where to put power poles, and it's not very clean, that's for sure. But now we're waiting on that copper. I think for now... See, it's actually building up down there. We'll just put that right there. And in doing so, we can shut off the copper dump. And it'll eventually catch up. And now we have some circuit boards. So we've got some leftover resources we can kind of just dump in the relevant machines. We can kind of clear up the inventory a little bit now, because we can do reverse factory, which is quite useful. However, in the meantime, I want to get rid of this sand. So I'll just put it in this furnace real quick. Actually, we can reverse factory all these electric poles and get our iron back, which would be nice. On second thought, I don't think we need to carry around a bunch of burner inserters. Just kind of filling up the inventory. We'll manually create them for the 3 times we might actually need some of them. We're kind of at the point where this is starting to become a little slow. We could double up on that, and we might very well double up on it. But let's do that a little later when we're doing the more efficient version of smelting, which isn't that far away. Basically, we just need to make steel first. Research is kind of going a little slow, though. So we can double up on this. I was like, we can double up, and we could use... I just said there's no point in rebuilding something, unless there is a point in rebuilding something. And since we're switching to electronic assemblers, which can make, or at least they can make the base components, they can't make these final ones, we might as well. And let's compact this in here a bit. Although I guess it doesn't really matter too much as long as it's lined up with this other stuff. Although those can be probably compacted quite a bit as well. But whatever. I know I just picked them up, but... oh well. The ratio might actually be different now that I think about it. Because we're using the electronics machines for these. Yep. So now that we have 8 of these, we only need 1 of each of these machines because they're twice as fast now. What kind of inserters are we going to need? Let's see. 2 going in, 1 going out. 1 going in, 2 going out. Okay. That should be what we need. Oh yeah, there it is. The electric lab. It It's weird how it requires basic electronic boards. Like, I don't know why it's hidden, and then it's not hidden. I wish I understood, but let's just research it and get it out of the way. It's gonna be kind of annoying. So we're gonna have to manually create these packs. Looks like crushed stone does collect in the center here. I guess it makes sense because these machines can't easily get access to it. All done. Let's do some... Oh yeah, we didn't do repair packs, which we need, but I guess we need those for nanobots. So we can build those shortly. There's 2 different labs that accomplish the same thing. So the... this is the one, the electric lab that comes from a industries, requires glass, which does make sense, and small electric motors, which makes sense, but then the basic electronic boards, which does not. Otherwise you'd be running on burner labs for a very long time. But whatever, it doesn't really matter which one you want to build. I guess this one to build makes a little more sense because it takes up all your burner labs. So I guess I'll build a couple of those when the time comes, just to get rid of the burner labs. Not that it really matters, it's just it's kind of convenient when you don't have to reverse factory stuff. I like the game designed where everything can be upgraded without reverse factorying it. Because reverse factory kind of is a little cheaty, but also kind of not. Oh, finally. That's all done. Can finally get rid of this. Where will reverse factory go? It can go anywhere. It doesn't matter. Let's put it there. So we need one going in and one going out. And then basically you just decide which things don't you want anymore. And if it can deconstruct it, it will try. Sometimes it can't based on the quantities. So if we put this science pack in, it can't deconstruct it. It's going to wait a few seconds and then it's going to kick it out the other side. And the reason is because the recipe to reverse it requires 4 science packs. And since we only have 1, that means we can't revert the recipe, so it's just like, nope, can't do it. And it's going to stick it out the other side. So we could stick this burner lab in there, and it would kick out whatever went into making it. Basically those things. But since we're going to reuse them eventually, I'll leave them in there. And anything that can get upgraded, like this burner ore crusher or these stone furnaces, there's really no reason to reverse any of that stuff. So I try to avoid using reverse factory too much because it can be kind of cheaty. But see, we put the wall in there and then it makes it into the stone. However, one thing that is useful is when you make a mistake and you accidentally build like way too many power poles. So in this situation, this is what it's useful for. It's also useful for getting rid of old pipe as you upgrade them to newer types. So now we can just let it handle its thing, do its thing. Making lots of iron sticks we don't have any use for right now. Nanobots are done. The nano emitter is the gun, but basically these are just little consumable construction bots. Or tree destroying bots, which don't give you the items. But I'll have to show you how that works if you were unfamiliar. It's very convenient just for early game like this. I just want to be one step ahead. Can we do radars? No, because basic electronic boards. Water treatment eventually for other things, but we don't need it now. Same with chemistry, the wood. Mechanical refining we can skip. Pretty much, yeah. We're pretty good as far as these things. I think that the next step after this is going to be steel, because With the way that Angels works is that there's different tiers of different machines, metallurgy and all of that, and each new tier requires new tiers of resources. So new tiers of metal, new tiers of bricks, and that sort of thing. So right now we're basically at like the iron tier or the stone tier, just crap. That any of the main big machines that you want to build require steel and require a lot of it. And it unlocks, as you can see, how much stuff. It almost locks just as much as circuits do. So we kind of need to work on that. And actually, luckily, it's only behind electrolysis. So it's not too complicated. Because Angels takes over the electrolysis stuff, it removes the Bob stuff. So it's just like storage tanks. And that's it in this one here. We'll do that. And then we're going to do steel, which, without doing the advanced way, one plate goes in, and then you get 2 hot plates coming out. And then to make the steel requires 8 hot plates to make 1 steel. So basically, it's a 4-to-1 ratio. And then it'll unlock steel chests, and then the second tier of gears, and the ball bearings, steel pipes, and then the steel beams itself. And then from there, we got lots of choices. So for these nanobots, first we need to make the emitter gun, which we can do now that we have circuit boards. I'm not going to worry about termite bots because I want to save all the trees. So we need iron sticks and repair packs. And repair packs require copper, iron, stone. Amazing how fast all that research is. The Science Cost Tweaker mod doesn't affect the cost of Tier 1 science. That's why it's all going so fast. It will quickly become much slower. Yeah, this one should be the iron sticks. And then this one, the construction bots. Yeah, we made it all the way up to the top. Might be a problem if it's blocking some belts. Oh well. I guess we could move them to the bottom. There's really no reason why they can't be. 1 in, 2 out. This is going to require as much as we possibly can feed it. Although we do need an open space for the output. Alright, looking good. Let's put that over there. And we need sticks. How is Reverse Factory doing? Making progress. Just let it continue. I'm going to stop our research for now, because we're kind of low on all the resources, so I kind of want to let it build back up here. Because shortly we'll be able to expand production of resources with the steel we're going to create. Although steel is going to take a great deal of iron. That's going to be a little slow. One thing we can kind of do while we're waiting is start placing bricks down. The factory must grow. With bricks means faster walking speed. Can probably put bricks on the menu. The toolbar so we can see how much we've got. You never have a shortage of bricks. It looks like we have a lot, but it's all going to be gone shortly. Okay, now that we've reverse factoried everything, we have this burner experiment, which we can't do anything with. So, it's gone. Okay, we've got some nanobots, so I can kind of show you how it works. But let's just say we want to build something. Like we want to build that. Although, I just wanted to do copy, be quicker. Boom. So we can put it somewhere. But first nothing happens because we have to select the gun and then be nearby. And if we have the resources, it'll throw little robots at it to make it. Or we can get rid of it. And you could do the same thing with trees, although the excavator's much faster at getting rid of trees, and it's much more efficient. I don't know if it'd be faster. It might be faster. It's much more efficient, and these packs aren't necessarily cheap. It's not necessarily the iron stick that's bad, but it's the repair pack, so only a couple of robots. And so it's basically like every single tile is going to consume a plate of some sort. Like, it's actually quite a bit of resources in the end. So it's convenient, but you want to use it with moderation. Alright, it looks like pretty much everything that can be automated is being automated. So we have caught up with our science. So the next step here is to make some steel. So let's use Hellmod and figure out what that ratio might be. Let's see, we're just using these for tests so we can get rid of them. I'm going to make its own production block for this because when we're producing a lot of steel, we'll essentially have nothing left over for iron. So I'm not really concerned about producing steel and iron simultaneously, since we really only need the iron for the science packs, and that's kind of the long-term consumption here. So I'll just make its own production line, and then we can type the number in manually. So make steel plates right there, which we can use an assembling machine. Let's just say 1 for now. Glowing hot iron plates, comes out of a stone furnace. The other furnaces, if you can use them for this, are the same efficiency, so there's kind of no point. And then we have iron plates, which we're already going to be making somewhere else, so that's pretty simple. So let's just manually type the number in. We're going to be producing 2.3 iron plates. There we go. So we just say 2.3. Oh wait, no, that's output. Let's do ingredient input. There we go. 2.3. Okay, so we're going to get 0.6 plates out. So it's 5 and 7. It's not really a particularly clean ratio. I wonder if we could make it clean. So yeah, I think it would be 15 to 10. Our iron output will increase at some point. That's going to require 5 plates per second, and we're producing 2.3. We're probably going to double it to at least 5 when we upgrade this block right here and build 2 of them. And also, we're going to get an efficiency increase for smelting them with angels. So we're probably going to max out a belt or get pretty close to it. So let's do this perfect ratio here with 15 and 10. Now that we have robots, we can truly just build it wherever. Bronze pipes and steel pipes. And then move it. So if it's 15 to 10, that means we have a 3 to 2 ratio here. So 2 assemblers needs to go into 3 stone furnaces. And as far as inserters, it looks like this is all a fairly slow process. It needs 1 inserter input for each assembler. And we're going to need at least 1 input for each one of these, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. Oops, I put this on the wrong side. Forgot the assemblers come after the furnaces. It's kind of weird, but it makes sense. The furnaces are making the plates hot, and then the assemblers are squishing it into the steel plates. I don't know. Let's check to see if this will... Okay, so it will make the glowing hot plates on its own. I was making sure we didn't need the special furnaces for that. Although, let's see, I guess we only need the 1. So this one has to be on both sides, because it has to feed into either of these. These only need to feed into one side. Then, we can put those there, so we've kind of got our little thing here. So where's this actually going to go? I don't know if I'm actually going to belt any of this stuff. But we can just kind of stick it right here, actually. So, I'm going to have things going down, and then going up. Guess it'll have to be like that. It's kind of a dense collection here, but that should work. That, and then nearsighted. Okay, so we need to produce this 4 more times. Guess I could have only done the, I wanted to see what the whole thing looked like, but I guess that was not necessary. Now that I think about it, because it would have been fine if we would have just duplicated it. So I'm wasting robots. It would be nice to upgrade the speed of the robots, though. So we can upgrade the range and their speed. Oh yeah, these need fuel, too. Of course they do. That is how furnaces work. Fuel can come in on the outside. Since this is going to require 5 units per second of iron, we kind of need 2 separate belts, unless we want to use the better belts, which we don't have access to yet. Okay, so long-handed goes on top. Regular goes on the bottom. And the power pole can be... We're going to have some undergrounds in here to make room for the power poles. It's going to have to be something like this. Okay. Looking good, looking crazy. That's a completely 100% dense collection of inserters, belts, and all that good stuff. So we gotta have some lights in here too. But where? There's no space. Okay, something like that. So we gotta get coal in here. Then we'll need a box to pick up all of that steel. Boom. I want to make sure this process works correctly, so I want to get a nice buildup of iron first. Kind of want to catch up just to make sure it stress tests properly. Alright, that's the end of this episode. On the next one, it's time to start smelting with angels. And that's a little different than things we've been doing now, so I'll have a bit to talk about. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.